Okay, so now I'm going to do this calf and powder first. And the sugar bowl is right behind the camera, so I'm just dabbing in and grabbing a big old ball. Legs are easier to use big pieces of sugar compared to smaller areas like bikini and underarm. If it gets on the back of your hand, you can just swipe it onto the leg or body part you're working on. Get it off the back of my hand. Molding 2 or 3 times is ideal for legs. You're just going to get a lot better result. The molding really allows the sugar to grab onto those hairs. When you're first starting with sugaring, you're smearing it all on. You're like, how on earth am I going to get that off? And then once you start flicking and you get your flick down, it's just so amazing that big old ball of goo just flicks right off the skin. It's just incredible. I'm actually going to mold 3 times here. Okay, here we go. On the back of my ankle here. Once it starts getting a little thicker, I just have to slow down my pace as I'm putting it on. It's just so thick. It just has a lot more tension in it. And I tell you what, this like barely hurts. I know I don't have a ton of hair, but just the skin alone is like not getting irritated at all. As you can see, there's no redness. The sugar is not hot. It feels about the same temperature as my leg or my hand. I'm going to go ahead and add another piece of sugar to this, just to kind of soften it up since it is getting so thick. Just to do this back part. I don't think you can see that very well, but I guess it looks the same as it did on the other side. And then this part is always a little tricky because it's like kind of that, at least I mean on when I'm waxing myself or sugaring myself, because it's like sort of that blind spot. It's just hard to see that area of my leg. Alright, so now I'm going to just show you the knee. Let me just grab a little bit more softer stuff there. The second time you mold, you don't need to put much pressure. And again, it just is so much more gentle. I could never do this with strip wax. Just, go over my knee like this. Like I'm not even having to have my knee completely tight. And the sugar just does not stick. It looks all sticky and gooey, but it just doesn't stick to the skin like regular wax. And that's what cuts down that pain. And yet it still grabs the hairs out really well. It is a little more gentle on grabbing the hair. Sometimes it takes an extra swipe going over, but that's what's nice about sugar is the skin can tolerate it because it didn't just get beat up from that first pull. All right, there's another calf down.